3, 2, 1. Start footage. Yes, the light at the end of the tunnel. We are looking for the end of the tunnel. Here's the light. Here it ends. Oh. And if you know, the light. Yeah, these are garden lights. It's special because in as much it is self-charges, so if it receives light, it turns down automatically. Okay, when we remove light, it turns on. Do you see? It's not a special effect. There's still lithium-ion polymer batteries and a normal LED light stuff. And of course, photo sensor and other system necessary to make it work. It's not so self-evident. And by the way, it is red interference. One can see here. This red light interference is the distance optimizer automatic focus of this camera. I showed to you it in an authentic mirror. You see the red spot. Yeah. This is the camera here, and you see the red spot. Very well. So, the light at the end of the tunnel. Let's turn the lights on. Okay, I'm here to talk about just tell us video, tell us normal video, something that is one of the, like if it were an excerpt. Take it if it were an excerpt from my essay on human error. I haven't got the papers here, but that's better this way, because there is less spoiler. And this thing that I'm going to talk to you about is in the section dedicated to things that I deploredly didn't manage to weave into a truly coherent structure, even if the rest of the essay is very well structured. But as deplored in its introduction, this essay can never be complete, even because the very subject itself is too complex. And I don't even have enough information to get everything coherent, but it may be coherent, may not be. I hope one day I will do another version of it, a bit longer, a bit more elaborate, more figures, pictures, better cover, back cover, good stuff. Maybe also video attachment with interviews, different things on the theme of human error and other things. But what I wanted to comment, take this as I'm doing this and in such an informal way because I need some training of acting, and this is very good. By the way, one of the errors is that one learns from experience and practice. With all the research made on this, all the evidence, all the attempts on all the possible methods of teaching, one by one, schooling, small class, so a large class, private school, open school, video, remote schooling video via what has happened actually because of the COVID-19 pandemic. All these methods have taught us only one thing, that one doesn't learn from experience, if anything does learn disasters, and that teaching is a bluff. As also it features in my novel. You will have half of it approximately half of it. It's but completely free, downloadable from the internet. Beautifully typed. So, by the way, where was I getting? Yeah, exercise. And so I need to exercise, but of course I won't get better at acting just by doing this video. I know it, but I just wanted to do it. Maybe something can be learned, but not by everybody, and you can't tell if there is actually some heuristic method behind working, or there isn't. About heuristic methods, the more research has been made, the more it's proven to be a failure. There are some extremely interesting results about, I'm among the very few to know, but they are all not that big deal. They seem a big deal, like fractals, those strange shapes, the fractal, the geometry of nature. When I tried to read some things about fractal, my mind was practically flooded with intellectual rubbish. I'm trying to, this is very important, I'm trying to output some material in the drawer, so semi-finished, but maybe it's also better semi-finished. As far as I know, Michelangelo Buonarroti wrote that he was fascinated by unfinished works, that he thought that sometimes unfinished works are better. Maybe there's some truth in it. I have some experience with this. Oh my god, experience. You're expert. Oh my god. I try to avoid the word expert and experience as much as possible, but sometimes, sometimes I use it because I've been so much brainwashed since small childhood, since I can go back with memories, but maybe brain manipulation starts to work before permanent memories or accessible memories are formed. Because maybe there are memories, but they are not accessible. So, but don't worry. Lots of research has been made about neural systems. We say that our brain is a neural system, but the problem is that even the definition trembles. All research made on them brought to little no discovery. Why? Normal research on normal, plain, according to most super boring algorithms, which is my most, so to be the most boring and frustrating subject in the world. Yeah, it's presented as such, but it's not always true. It depends. I'm an algorithmist, principally, that's what's written on the CV, but whatever, what's your profession? Algorithmist. And then what? So you are the most boring person in the world. Yeah. Use prejudices. Yeah. Learn from experience. No. I just took it as some justification of this video. Before presenting my 15th theorem on complex analysis, which really shows you some concrete graph, which is not rubbish, not like all what has been told about fractals, beyond the fact that there are different kinds of fractals that think of fractals became famous in the sense with some random experience with graphing with a very very simple method, but it's not even a method, it's just a bluff. Complex functions, and you use it. Go read about it on your own, but be careful not to let your mind be flooded, not just filled by intellectual rubbish, but flooded, because its consequences may be irreversible. 15th theorem is also about graphs and complex functions. There are no fractals, not all this is all important thing. I am reserving very much of energy for it, so I'm trying to output, even in some, as I was saying, maybe a partially semi-finished way, some things that are there in the drawer, but either didn't have time or energy or whatever to outdevelop it, or it doesn't deserve to be outdeveloped, or it's a multi-personal activity so that attempting it alone is there. So I chose, or I just threw the dice and I chose, okay, let's do the video. It won't harm. So let's go. Let's go on. Your weekend change scenario. Sorry, all this is down. Okay, it's be always. By the way, coffee time. You know that doing the orthogonal projection of this is one of the most interesting orthogonal projection exercises. If you do it by computer, is also extremely interesting. Also, generating procedurally this shape is extremely easy actually, and it can be. I wonder why in the GLUT library this is not present as far as I know as a standard shape, but I'll check. Maybe it is. Or check it for yourself. The sphere, cube, all the platonic solids, and I don't know what else, torus, for example, other stuff is present. This mocha shape isn't, but it would be interesting. But maybe it's present actually. I'll check. I'll check. Of course, it's easy to do it if you want to do some exercise. Also the lighting or in OpenGL. So let me get here. The coffee time is already here. Very safe way to keep weights. Sometimes measure blood pressure because otherwise, I know exercising can be good, but look at what happened to Schwarzenegger. Notwithstanding, he is one of the most intelligent and cautious people in the world. Even doing too much can be a problem. I respect very much this person, but you know, also excess of physical tuning can be harmful. By the way, in my novel, you see that I am not wearing shoes. In my novel, when this is not in the part that will be available, but some people notice this sort of artificially constructed super girl. She practically is trained for body posture and everything, and one of the exercises she has to take is to walk barefoot 15 minutes, like with socks, and other 15 without, so barefoot. And do various exercises with the posture and use do some exercises for the definition of shoulders, biceps, and all the muscle structure on the back. Because most girls don't even know what are the principal female tops. It is used as a show off of footnotes in my novel, but it's not going to be. It's in the part which is hidden until I find it's not available until I find a publisher. But these female tops are explained, and many of them work on. They assume there is an outwork. There's this muscle, I don't know how it's called. That there is a decent biceps, but that's secondary, and that all the back muscles are fine. That's called the raised back. Almost no one wears it because you have to be tuned. Yes, and so it was that I entered the Bodensee nudist beach near Berlin with a diploma in style clothing and female clothing, stylish female clothing, and I exited with a master's degree in nudism. By the way, I speak German, so it's really the master's degree in nudism. Even if there's not much to see, I'm a male, so more better looking than a frog, and you're fine off. Now, finally trying to arrive at this thing of the excerpt, sort of video explaining excerpt about my essay on human error. These are some drafts. There are even figures in it, of course, more than one, and there is also a cover, just to see how much work there is beyond the piece. This is all full of notes. This is draft. This is a special table, and it will be explained what it is for and how it was devised. Other notes. Look. Also, this is a piece of female wearing, but I discovered it has applications in electronics and office work because it's much better than, sometimes better than this kind of holder and that other one, which I haven't here ready, by the way. Yeah, we can do a sync cut here. I know sometimes division in chapters can be done. So here, new chapter code. Can this be chapter 2, chapter 3? But that is speaking about that part. Human error. Recently, I was using a video portal. I can show you anything, completely anonymous. There are lots of them. Also, you can set up your own video portal if you want. Some have done it with their own servers, so thus offering better privacy and better availability. And the norms, the regulation system has changed a lot in the past, since it went into existence, the last 20 years or so. And one of the new rules, which is again in nonsense sentences, this is about nonsense, detecting nonsense statements, which is about nonsense statements which are nonsense in a bad way. It's not like the other topic discussed, that one of the most used words is maybe, which doesn't mean anything but can generate social engagement. So it has some function, but the sentences are, I think, detrimental. It says, pay particular attention if children appear in your video. But in the context, it doesn't say anything. Why? What's the problem? I'm the content creator. I'm a professional presenter, actor, and expert. Expert. Computer graphics. I studied decently drawing. I did the damn it exercise to get good at it. It has little to do with exercise, actually. There is something about this in the essay, but on human error. But don't worry, coffee time. And that's stated. No one could force the company to take down this statement, which is useless. What does it mean? Pay particular attention if, before publishing your video, pay particular attention if in your video there appear children. Their definition of children is someone under 18 years of age, where 18 doesn't mean anything historically. We'll get at it why. Biologically, it has no meaning. By the way, someone remembers, for example, who discovered the structure of the DNA? It's not all that old discovery. 1960, if I remember, Watson and Crichton. I know it. Though not being a biologist, though not being a chemistry man, or what's the correct word, and also understanding little nothing of chemistry. I'm more for physics anyway. Those who know me know it, or have consulted some comment also here. In this is some things will be mentioned, but just very surface level. Otherwise, I would cut lots of readers. By the way, cut a significant amount of the potential audience and the effective audience that will follow it. And particular attention. They don't know anything about the DNA. They just run around the thing. And you have to set up, is the content destined to children or not? If it is, no comments are allowed on the system. But then you can set, no, it's not destined to children. But is there, do you want to put an age limitation? Yes, it's destined to people with more than 18 years, or sometimes it's written 18 plus. Wow. Plus. This big plus, C++ programming language, 18 plus, whatever. I have nothing against modernization on writing and modern punctuation. Well, I don't have the computerized typesetting book on our hand. You can have a look at it elsewhere. There's a whole table of how and its symbols. Some strange symbols are completely standard practice in easy writing. So I think people worth something, people who have interests, even people who want something about existence, where not. It's a good thing to want something, because it's so strange that we as humans, or some humans, can really live the world, consciously participate to the world, and not just like contemplate it, but also it's strange that me also sometimes contemplation easily gets into involvement and also influenciation. It's an interesting topic, but let's don't diverge too much. And this thing, and when I think no, it's not destined, not addressed to children, but I don't want to put age limitations. But then you include children, the definition, an age like 0 and then comments are there. So it's a logical gimmicks, a stupid logical game which has no meaning. At least such simple logic games as the game of life. Have a look at it. Very interesting. Detriment on dimensionally simple rules, but pretty complex behavior. And anyone like interested in chess, for example, would find it extremely interesting. Also, chess rules aren't all that big complexity. Also, the chessboard is limited, but games themselves can be extremely hard to do. And also automating chess by automating, constructing with computer, creating a chess program which to some extent is able to play that on this chess is very hard. The algorithm is called Minimax, by the way. And there are variations of it. You can invent your own algorithm, of course. By the way, and this, coming back to the logical gimmicks, it makes no sense. For example, before getting to the ugliest part here, I just want to read. You know the David statue by Michelangelo Buonarroti? Have you ever thought, how old is he? It's not indicated on the statue. At the epoch in which Michelangelo made this statue, there wasn't this imitation. 18 is not an interesting number. It's not even prime number. Prime numbers, as important as they are today, prime numbers, because of the privacy stuff, the credit cards, the PGP key card for private access, limited access, other things. The many are now offering private VPN services, as mentioned in here. Even famous people like James Rolfe, more often known as the Angry Video Game Nerd, advertises this document. He advertises private VPN, express private VPN, more precise service. People pay even half prices to get their privacy back. And this all on prime numbers. Interesting. 18 is not even prime number, has no biological thing. Biological ages are like when milk teeth start to grow, when they fall off, when one enters, when the permanent the second generation teeth start to grow. That's another special thing, but it's very variable from person to person. Other milestone is when you are able to reproduce, which is very much important, and is as directly as recently has been discovered synchronized with the process in the development of the brain, where the brain starts to remove at stunning speed lots of neural schemes. But here we are entering again mysterious things which are not useful anymore and start to form those permanent, which will be there forever. So don't waste your time thinking, but I am less than 18, so I have no value. I've been treated as bad as hell because when I was smaller, then even much after I was considered less, and then I was laughing in myself. First the problem as I am young, then lots of confusion because I'm seen much younger, because I'm healthier, I am more dynamic, and so on. That's incredible, really. And the other milestone is the bone and articulation system stops growing, statue, so to speak, at 24 approximately. But here is more medical stuff, but those who are medics, especially if they are specialized in osteoporosis, articular problems, or prevention, or sports medics, physiatrists, which is also very important. Very common mistake. Age is to be considered when doing physical exercise. Some ages, certain things should not be overdone or underestimated. There's a good balance. So your science does its thing, but 18 years as age doesn't figure anywhere. Everything else figures, but not that. And here, be careful. Back to the video. Here we are almost at the end, song and coffee time, because here prepared to something pretty disgusting, I'm going to say, but it's all the whole truth. But I can't put photograph of it, but it's all here, and I'll explain. It will be more efficient. You'll see many cases like this. Be extremely pay attention if in your video repair children and blah blah blah, according to the law on the defense of minors, that is minors aren't people under 18, because you like protection of minors by you don't protect the majors. Once, not so much time ago, it was hard to arrive at that age because people died. Already reaching 20 something was a big deal. Reaching 30 was something. That's why in ancient Egypt, as soon as the new pharaoh, new emperor of Pharaoh was said, I'm not a historian, so I speak some random stuff.
they started to the here I can use the passive because it's something about very remote. The pyramid started to be built as soon as he was born.